IndyCar Fox, tensions rising.
Mm-hmm. We are live on YouTube and every other platform now, Crasher, as my microphone shrinks. We got 25 seconds.
Oh, well then pick that puppy up.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you want to, okay, there's also Kyle Busch's
We got 15 seconds.
cryptic tweet, if you want to talk about that. The 1851.
Yeah, all right.
And then the Lucas announcement is official Tuesday, I believe.
Copy. All right, Freak Nation, about to go live on the Freak Radio Network and across the planet here in 3, 2, and 1.
Brexton and Kyle this year will be racing with each other in the micros, and Brexton's going to smoke him.
We're not out here because we're making millions of dollars, and I'm not out here for notoriety. I'm here because I love what I do.
Yeah, let's just say you say hello in Australia, though.
G'day.
G'day.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire.
Rock on, baby!
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
Here's the Freaks.
All right, Freak Nation, I'm going to ask you this out of the top of the show. Are you happy now that you got your NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2026 in Homestead after what we saw Sunday afternoon? Are you happy now? Or are you crying little? All right, I'll just save it for later. Thank you guys for being a part of the Freak Radio, Freak TV Network, Freak Nation. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're there for speedfreaks.tv. Crash Gladys, Richard C. Suave, we're all here. Cole Cusimano, out again. He's out again, and he blames it on the fast food restaurant of him throwing up and filling the chip. What are you laughing at, Richie? Come on, you've gotten sick with some fast food before.
Yes, but I have an iron stomach, so I can eat as much Taco Bell as I want and be perfectly fine.
I didn't say it was Taco Bell.
But I don't know why you're throwing him under the bus, man. Come on.
I didn't say it was Taco Bell. Richie, why did you just say Taco Bell?
I mean, Taco Bell's infamous for, everybody knows. I don't have to say it.
Okay, all right. So the question for you, Freak Nation, are you happy now that we found out that after today's race or Sunday afternoon's race, that's where our freaking championship's going to be in 2026?
Hold on, it's not official. Thank you, Rich. It's not official yet. There was a leak, an accidental leak that made some waves on social media this week, and then Denny Hamlin was asked about it. Was it William Byron? Mm-hmm. So, yes, drivers have basically assumed that, yes, Homestead is going to be the season finale in 2026, but nothing is official yet, Sarge.
Hold on just a second. By the way, Kyle Larson almost a sweep at the weekend. I got a question for you about Kyle Larson, which, by the way, he'll be joining us this hour. Your winner from Homestead will be here in the Freak Nation. Alexis Dejoria, badass NHRA funny car pilot, and John Hunter Nemechek will be here. So you're saying there's a leak. Where did this leak come out, gang?
Social media.
Okay, what website allegedly was this leaked from? What website, Richie?
So I saw it first on Twitter, and it was a screen recording and a screenshot of Homestead Miami's Ticketmaster website. Allegedly, yes. Okay. And you scroll through all the dates, and they had all this weekend on there, 2025. And at the very bottom, according to this screenshot/screen recording, it had a November 1st, 2026 date listed for next season, which would line up with the championship race. This year in Phoenix, it is going to be the first weekend in November. And so I did some digging, and I went, this was about a couple hours after I saw that first on Twitter, and I went to the Homestead Miami website to see if it was still there or if it was taken down. Didn't exist. So either A, there was a mistake made and it was deleted, or B, that it was completely fabricated to begin with. And I don't know who to believe.
Ooh.
But you also dug even deeper because you also went to the Phoenix Raceway website, and they still list the championship race in 2026 at Phoenix.
That's correct. Yeah, there was somebody else who, in reply, I think I saw it on Reddit as well, who posted their renewal for 2026 at Phoenix Raceway, and they listed the same November 1st, 2026 date. So we know nothing, basically. We've spent 4 minutes talking about this, and we are no smarter than we were 4 minutes ago.
But after the product that was put on the track this weekend,
right,
the spring Homestead race for NASCAR, would it be a fair thing to start arguing what's better? Because arguably this spring, we had a better Phoenix race. Do you really want the championship race weekend to go away from the desert and go into hurricanes in Homestead? That basically, that's what I mean. The cars, that's all they did. They just went around in circles and there wasn't a lot of drama.
Yeah, did that race on Sunday afternoon really get you jacked up about having your finale again at Homestead? Really, after what we saw in March at Phoenix? Freak Nation? Are you just hating on Phoenix? That it's been here so damn long and the weather's freaking beautiful and S is organized, got a great freaking track manager and just a bitchin' PR team with the track? Is that what pisses you off? That you're afraid to come out here in the freaking desert and suffer with us when it's 65 degrees?
Oh, and just 2 weeks ago, Phoenix gave you a spectacular race. Yeah. You've been screaming for it ever since the championship came to Phoenix. You finally got a good race, and now you're like, nope, Homestead. Well, look what Homestead just did. Actually, our guy Cody brought up a good point. Last year, so we're talking fall of 2024, Homestead was a great cutoff race. They gave us good entertainment there. But today, this Sunday, not so much.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I really do think this is earlier in the race doesn't matter, and the drivers know that. I really felt that, and I was able to watch. I was out at NHRA all day today,
right?
So I wasn't able to check out as much of the race as I wanted to.
Speaking of Phoenix,
yeah, but I was watching. I did catch the final 45, 50 laps after the last restart, and that's what it felt like to me. Like I thought that last stint was pretty fun to watch, and there were 3 different leaders in that span of time. But that's what it felt like to me. It just didn't have the buzz that a playoff race at Homestead does. It didn't have the excitement level that like the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series had. So it was just missing something, and I can't put my finger on it other than maybe that it was just a regular season race and not a playoff race.
Yeah, you put the race in a freaking backyard, and it's the last race of the season. It's going to be a little bit more exciting than this is the sixth race of the season for the Cup Series? Yeah.
Sure.
It makes a difference. I'll give you that. But my goodness, if you want to compare apples to apples and just the freaking product that we saw Sunday afternoon at Homestead, I'm sorry, man. If your freaking final is going to be there in 2026, I want to hear the hate that comes out then. You guys bitching and moaning so much about freaking Phoenix.
That's the whole reason it went to Phoenix. Am I right?
Yes.
Because people were bitching about Homestead to begin with. We just need another track. Homestead is not going to cut it. You guys don't think Phoenix is cutting it, so give us another option.
You know what this reminds me of, Freak Nation? I'm sorry, we are digging rabbit holes out of the gate with this, man, and I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. We got Kyle Larson coming up here in moments, your winner from Homestead. It's like when you get a hangnail or you have a nail, something loose on your fingernail, and you don't use clippers. You get in there and you start digging on it with your finger, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper until it freaking draws blood. That's what NASCAR may be doing to try and make these adjustments to the fans that they say they don't listen to.
Oh, right.
To make these adjustments for the finale to where, okay, we're going to try new tires at Phoenix. See if this works for 2025. Moving to Homestead in 2026. So let's try this. Oh, that race kind of sucked. That sixth race of the season sucked at Homestead. Maybe we're going to move it to Charlotte. I just think the more you try and dig and make these trick adjustments, that the worse it's going to get. Let it kind of like a new track. Let it sit for a while. Well, how long have you been at Phoenix? I get it, but let it sit. And I'm not saying everything has to be at Phoenix. Damn it! All I'm saying is, really, you want Homestead over Phoenix? Not after what we saw today. Nope.
And I will say, go back to November at the championship race when the Steves were doing their press conference. They were asked about whether or not it would be back in Phoenix. And one of the things they pointed out, and I think they were asked specifically about Homestead, and one of the things they brought up was that this March Homestead race was going to be a trial run for a possible championship race there in terms of trying the fan engagement. and if they were going to get a packed amount of stands. And it was like, hey, if you guys want this, show us you want it. And according to the Freak Nation here in the comments on YouTube, and Cole was texting us earlier today, Cody behind the scenes here, everybody was saying that the stands looked bare today. Whether that had anything to do with the brush fire that was going on by the track, I don't know. But as part, the buzz just wasn't there from the fans. And that's not good, man. I know they're going to do some renovations here coming up over the next year and a half. Maybe that will help things, just like help revitalize Phoenix. But if you didn't show up for a March race, are they going to really show up in November?
Yeah, there'll be more inspiration to show up in November. But I hear everything that you're saying. But again, if we listen to NASCAR, remember NASCAR doesn't listen to the fans for their decisions, right?
Allegedly. But yeah, you're right. If we put the puzzle pieces together based on what the Steves said in Phoenix in November, this race this weekend in Homestead was a trial for what you, the fans, want to see potentially as your next championship venue. You didn't show up this weekend. So what does that say?
So whether that... Who tweeted that out, by the way? Who tweeted out the screenshot of where did we actually find that?
No, it was just a random fan.
It was a random fan. So it could have been somebody. It could have been some homer from freaking Miami that put it out there.
Very potentially.
Right?
Yeah, and I will say this, like, it did not get that much traction. Like, none of the big names we're talking about, Gluck, Pawgrass, anybody like that really picked up on it.
Got it.
It didn't get much traction on Twitter or on Reddit either, which I was kind of surprised to find. So people kind of like me poo-pooed it as being a non-story until something actually gets announced.
Still like that, though. Still like that dropping out there and getting people fired up, geeked up. But Denny Hamlin was asked about it. Other drivers were asked about it. Hey, Freak Nation, another question I'm going to ask you. Kyle Larson was on his way to doing something this weekend that the last person to do what he was after was Kyle Busch.
The only person who had done it before was Kyle Busch.
Kyle Larson was hoping to double up what Kyle Busch has done. We'll get to that coming up. Also, Kyle Larson will be in here. John Hunter Nemechek, Alexis Dejoria, NHRA Funny Car Badass. She'll be here in the Freak Nation. So much more coming up right here in the Lucas Oil Studios and Speed Freaks Pits.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up. GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, thanks to our friends at Lucas Oil. They make this thing possible. That's why I suggest if you're interested in doing anything inside your car, outside your car, inside your engine, outside your engine, make sure you check out lucasoil.com for a line of products to keep your rides fat and happy. Do it. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. Members of the Freak Nation for over 2 decades. All right, Kyle Larson will be joining us. We caught up with Kyle Larson. He'll be joining us coming up next segment. Also, Kyle Larson, post-race press conference coming up this segment. And it leads into what I was talking about the last segment, a lot of the segment talk here. How with the Xfinity Series race that Kyle Larson, from what I'm told, had lapped the field 66 times. And was
very close.
Was it right?
Yeah.
That at the Xfinity Series race, Kyle Larson was going on to the win until that yellow that dropped, and then all of a sudden Justin Allgaier found something and won the Xfinity Series race. Mm-hmm. But at the time, Kyle Larson was on his way to winning the Xfinity Series race. That's after he won the truck race.
Yep.
And then some of us were talking about when was the last time someone swept the series, and it was, of course,
Kyle Busch, 2017. He is the only driver to have done it, and he's done it twice, 2010 and 2017.
And look what Kyle Larson did. He wins the truck race. He's on his way to win the Xfinity Series race. And then, of course, he wins the Cup race. And I posed this question to this group here. Again, Cole Cusimano. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. He's not here.
Sick.
I know he's sick.
He's just sick.
He'll be back here for Horsepower Hump Day. And, of course, next Sunday night. If he decides to not go to that fast food joint again. I asked this crew here, I said, think about this, because your gut reaction will go one way, then you'll think, oh, is it harder to win? Is it harder to do what Christopher Bell did and win 3 straight Cup races, or do what Kyle Larson was on his way to doing, sweeping a weekend in the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series? My gut, but I think yours was to win 3 Cup races in a row.
Yep.
I disagree.
My knee jerk went to that, but I disagree now too. But yeah, go ahead.
No, here's the thing. You just put out the stat. It's happened twice.
Yep, exactly.
In 30-ish years after the Truck Series was founded, right? That's it. Mm-hmm. Twice. Thousands of races over almost 30 years. And it's happened twice. Whereas Kyle Larson just won 3 races 3 years ago. And then Jimmy Johnson won 4, 15 years ago. So it's hands down winning 3 races in the same weekend in 3 different types of cars. Easy.
But maybe the bigger question being, why did we want to knee-jerk reaction into, 3 in a row? Clearly, winning 3 Cup races in a row is harder. Is it because Kyle Larson made it look so almost easy this weekend? That's just the kind of driver that he is. I mean, he just dominated the truck race. He dominated the Xfinity race. It just didn't end up in his direction the last 8 laps. And then he had a pretty good run today, too, for the Cup race. So is it just he just makes things look easy, same as Kyle Busch, makes it look easy, so you automatically, your brain thinks, clearly that's got to be the easier one. No.
Let that resonate, Freak Nation. To you, which is easier or more difficult? Either way you want to phrase it. 3 Cup races in a row or sweeping the series, what Kyle Larson was on his way to doing until the Xfinity Series race and that caution. He was on his way to sweeping the weekend. I know it's before he won the Cup race. In fact, Richard C. Suave, this is Kyle Larson talking about losing that Xfinity Series race, correct?
Yes, let's begin with that. I got 3 Kyle Larson bites for you that we can chew on here from the post-race. Let's start with that. He was asked specifically about how the end of the Xfinity race, and he basically lapped the entire field. There were only 5 cars in the lead lap at one point at the end of that race before the final caution, which is absolutely insane. So he was asked, did that specifically motivate him more prior to Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race?
Definitely extra motivated, and given past history, I just wanted to take the green flag and kick everybody's ass today. Honestly, like I wanted to get to the lead early and just dominate like I was yesterday. But then the green flag flew and it was like the opposite. I was going backwards and getting pissed off in the helmet and just frustrated. But just figured that day was not going to go like that. So then you just forget about all that. I think just leading into the race, that's what your thought process is. But then, after 10 laps or so, I quickly forgot about the wanting to kick everybody's ass all race long. And was just like, all right, let's try and work hard at this and get a win. And that's kind of how the race played out.
I just like Owen, his son.
Which
at the beginning of that clip, just chin on the table.
Which caught your eye more, the profile of Dustin Long down at the bottom, or his son, Owen?
Owen got me on that one.
That's one of the reasons I like Kyle Larson. He just says it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten him in trouble, as we know in the past, but he just says it. And he just said it there. It pissed me off. I drove my ass off in a Cup car because of what happened in a lower-tiered series in the Xfinity Series race.
I don't want Kyle Larson to tell me I want to kick your ass.
Yeah, no.
That's a pissed off Kyle Larson is not the Kyle Larson I want to be facing on Sundays. That's not great. Mm-mm. That's not great at all.
Kyle Larson, post-race after his Homestead win Sunday afternoon here in the Freak Nation. Richard, let's set up the second bit with Kyle Larson.
Again, the big story of the weekend was whether or not Kyle Larson was going to win all 3 races. Mm-hmm. Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series. And so he was specifically asked whether or not he is bummed out, or how bummed out he is that he wasn't quite able to pull that off.
I mean, maybe as I go home tonight and lay down and think about the week more. But honestly, right now, I don't think about it at all. I wasn't thinking about that as I took the lead, anything like that. So, I was pretty, disappointed all of the time after the race yesterday, but I woke up this morning feeling, for the most part, fine, motivated, but fine, kind of over, the finish.
Richie, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. I don't hear a damn thing that Kyle Larson's saying. Seeing his son, Owen, look at him.
He's messing with his hat. And of course, because our eyeballs, for those of you listening on radio, clearly you're getting a great interview or a great answer from Kyle Larson, and you're not able to see, unfortunately, his son right next to him just fidgeting with his hat and wearing another team's shirt, by the way. He's wearing a Michael Jordan, Air Jordan polo. That's another team. That's not Hendrick Motorsports. Mr. H allows him to do that. Good on you, Owen. Good on you.
Solidarity. That's what it is. Solidarity from those drivers.
Kids are the
I'm
best.
sorry, Kyle Larson. I didn't hear a damn thing you said. Were you still pissed off? Richard, we got one more soundbite that we can hit, and maybe Owen will not freaking distract us.
Yes, we got one more. So we were just talking about how Homestead may not get the championship race back, as a lot of fans were asking even just 6 months ago. Well, Kyle was asked about some of the differences between driving Homestead in the fall like they did last year as opposed to driving it now in the spring. And here we go.
I don't really think that it affected it at all. I feel like this track is so abrasive that it didn't really seem much different. The only thing that seemed different to me was we had more cloud cover during the race. And there was runs early in the race when there wasn't as much cloud cover, and it played out like normal Homestead. And then I would say the last third of the race, there was quite a bit of cloud cover, so the pace was much faster, it seemed, in the car. More people were kind of making fast entries into one work than typical. in the fall. So, but temperatures and all that were relatively the same. So I really just think the cloud cover that we had today was the biggest factor.
And now he's a weatherman.
What the hell did we just learn from that soundbite?
That nothing's different. The track's abrasive enough, and there's really nothing different between November and March.
Yeah, there you go, Freak Nation. So he's indifferent about whether they... Look, this guy wants to freaking roll at Homestead. Dude had a chance to sweep the G-Dam weekend.
He doesn't care. He won the championship at Phoenix as well.
Right.
I think Kyle Larson is good with either as the championship finale.
As long as it's not at a freaking super speedway. We don't need to get into that conversation.
Valid. Yeah,
right?
just don't make it Daytona. There you go.
Freak Nation, coming up next, we spend a good 10 minutes with Kyle Larson. We don't talk a lot of Homestead because we caught up with him before Homestead. But he does drop some bombs in here in relationship to Kyle Busch, High Limit Racing, starting off as a small business owner, meaning with High Limit Racing, him and Brad Sweet, and really what it feels like now to watch this little baby of theirs, High Limit Racing, succeed and kick some ass. We'll talk to him about that. Also coming up, John Hunter Nemechek will be in here, and Alexis Dejoria, the only female in funny car for the NHRA, who frankly is kicking some ass, a single car. Well, I don't want to give it away. Something that she talks about in the interview about the new developments with this new team she's running with. Yeah, it's a big next segment. Rest of the show. Coming up next, his name is Kyle Larson. He spends a good 10 minutes with us. Next, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account imported on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to with sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
All right, Freak Nation, a quick reminder. If you're in the market for a new set of tires, go to GeneralTire.com and find out how you can get up to $80. A lot of money back from our friends at General Tire if you pick 4 qualifying tires for your hot rod. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com to find out what tires qualify and how you can get money back from our friends at General Tire now through the end of April. That's GeneralTire.com. GeneralTire.com. We caught up with Kyle Larson before his race at Homestead. Spent some good time with him. He's another one of those dudes, similar to Mario Andretti, easy, that very seldom says no to a request when we ask to spend some time with him. We're not one of those money grubbers or those freaking homers. Oh, I just said money grubbers. One of those fanboys where we say, every time Kyle Larson's, yeah, come on, this is my money. No, it's like we pick and choose, and he's kind enough to spend some good time with us. And that's what happened here. Just random thoughts, stream of consciousness, the kids call it now. Kyle Larson, your winner from Homestead, right here. Speed Freaks Pits at the Lucas Oil Studios. Kyle Larson back in the Freak Nation, and now with you taking on a few truck rides this year, this is my theory. This is what you do to keep Owen out of a goddamn race car, right? You race as much as you can to keep your son out of a race car. Is that right?
No, because Caitlin will be with him racing in Oklahoma that weekend or one of the weekends. So, no, honestly, I'm doing it because I really like the 2 tracks. Homestead and Bristol are like my favorite tracks. And, I'll be at those places by myself, or at least Homestead, because she's racing with Owen. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be there. I might as well race. So, yeah.
Does it get old? Have you ever said, this is just too damn much? And I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's times, I would say most years, where I get into the summer and I'm like, dang, I wish I could just stay at home, and enjoy a day on the lake or hanging out with friends or whatever. But usually once I commit to a race, in the off season, I'm committed to it. I don't like to, cancel, because the people that I've raced for in the past, like Paul Silva, that's how they make their living. So if I'm not racing, they're not making money, and I don't think that's right.
Phoenix at one time was being pushed as your home, but now as the kids are getting older and you're having to go back and forth, is that proving difficult for the Larson family as they get older and you want to keep them in one place?
Well, we're not here full time anyways, so
but you're going back to back between here and Charlotte, right?
Not as much as people probably think. We're really not here that much, honestly. So especially this year, because I race more in the off season and stuff like that. So I've only been here a few weeks, really. So we've been in North Carolina the most, and then really just traveling, racing a lot. So we don't get out here as much as we'd like. And then, when you're here and it's raining, like it was yesterday, that's not very fun either.
Okay, speaking of traveling, I was on an airplane with you last year heading to Michigan, and I was blown away. You travel more than anybody I know, and you didn't get a first-class upgrade.
Was I by myself?
You were.
Okay.
I was shocked.
Yeah. I don't know. I try not to book the expensive, first class seat. Hopefully I could get upgraded, but I don't know. It's fine. Honestly, too, I'm little, so like first class sometimes is too much space. Like I can't lay my head against the window, or we're in coach, you're a little closer to the wall. It's honestly a little more comfortable.
So Kenny brought up Owen earlier, and we had a conversation. Brexton, there's Cash. I don't think Cash is racing. There's Keelan. Of the boys, do they get on each other every once in a while, the next generation, and kind of play with, like make fun of each other, pull pranks on each other? Are they already at that state?
When Cash does race, I don't know if he's still racing a lot, but when we go to Millbridge, like Owen and Cash, they don't take the racing as serious. So yeah, they definitely have fun with it and all that. Brexton's really good, and this is his like life and job. I won't call it a job, but like he's doing it a ton. So he's very serious about it. And then Keelan, like he's an older generation, so we haven't been around that, and he grew up racing different stuff. But either way, it's fun. You've seen all the kids at the racetrack playing and building memories, and then competing on the racetrack and all of that. So it's a really good time. It's fun for the parents to see each other away from the NASCAR environment. All of that, it's good.
Well, when is the first contract going to go out? I mean, I'm assuming age is an issue right now for high limit racing. When are they going to be in your series high limit?
Good question. Well, they got to be 16 to race. So they got, I guess like 6 years for my son anyways. But it's wild to think about that, because like 10 is like super young and all that. But then like, man, these kids are racing Chili Bowl and stuff when they're 14. So, I mean, I'll be racing. Like Brexton and Kyle this year will be racing with each other in the micros. And Brexton's going to smoke him. But, yeah, I mean, even for me, like, I could be racing with Owen, this year or next year for sure. So it's weird for sure, but it's fun. It'll be fun to get out there with your kid, and like I feel like then they'll actually listen because I'll be smoking him and he'll have to listen to me.
Oh wait, so Brexton will smoke Kyle Busch, but you will smoke Owen.
Yeah. Kyle's not a dirt racer. Brexton is. So Brexton's really good, but no, Kyle's still. Even though he's not a dirt race, he's got more experience than Brexton, so he'll beat him for a little while. But it'll be tough. Brexton's good.
Is there anything, we were talking about high limits, we'll get more into that in a second, and then last year's schedule and how crazy it was. Is there anything that you would change for 2025 so that you're not as just crazed? I can't think of a different word right now with your schedule.
No, because I'm racing more than I did last year. I got more races on my schedule now this year. But last year I did some late model stuff. This year I've got no late model stuff planned. A lot more sprint car racing, and then I'm doing like a couple truck races and stuff. But I don't know. My schedule kind of is the same every year. Amount of races, and the summer months are really busy. But like this time of year, and then especially once the playoffs start, it slows down a lot. So. I don't know. I get kind of used to that routine a little bit, and it does get stressful at times, but as long as you're running good, it's fine.
Any more trips to Paris, just kind of in the middle of 2 race weekends?
Yeah, that made last year probably extra busy too. We did Paris, Europe, Italy, all that. I feel like we did something else too. We stayed busy. So this year, I guess, more racing and less vacations.
The enjoyment that I get out of watching Speed Freaks grow, we're celebrating 25 years this year. But along with that came a lot of growing pains. I worked for the man, corporate, prior to this. But as a small business owner, the rewards are far better. With high limit racing, are you starting to feel that? Like watching this thing grow, I'm not just talking about followers on Instagram, but just watching the stands fill, the drivers getting excited about this. Can you really sit down and enjoy the growth of high limit racing?
Yes, absolutely. And we're still fresh and new to it. We've only had one really, full-time season under our belt. And just the growth in that year, from fans' perspective, is very negative, which I understand, in the beginning because, we're going up against the Outlaws or whatever. But then kind of seeing the comments change as the year went on and all that was good. We had, I think like 16 full-time traveling teams last year, close to the same amount, I think, this year. And then we also have a lot of big things, planned coming up. So, I look forward to kind of seeing, where we can continue to grow. And as long as we can keep just having a positive impact on the sport, I think that's important. So it's been fun. Brad, JP, the whole high limit staff, they've worked extremely hard. Where I'm so busy doing everything else, I'm not like fully in it day to day, but here lately has been fun because I've been a lot more involved and all that. So I look forward to the growth.
Talking to Kenton Nelson, Texas Motor Speedway, and Christopher Bell together, they were talking about how excited they are about getting Christopher Bell in there for the race there at TMS. Have you found yourself having to really massage relationships with tracks moving forward?
So Brad and JP deal a lot with the tracks, and there's definitely it's a tough job, trying to get 60 races, when there's hundreds of more tracks out there, it's hard to, please every race fan that wants to come to their region. Then there's also a lot of politics that are involved with, different tracks and regions and series and who owns what territory and stuff. So when you're new, it's tough to kind of break into that. But I think over these first, couple years, you just got to work through it, and then hopefully you get the schedule exactly how you want. Next year would be great.
And to toot our own horn, as the kids like to say, there's a great 25-minute interview recently that we did with Brad Sweet that elaborates on a lot of things, Crasher, that Kyle Larson was talking about running high-limit racing.
Yes, because he just said Brad and JP are the ones that are dealing with the tracks and a lot of the business side of things. Kyle's just out there doing the brand, racing his butt off.
Hey, dig this, man. Crasher's going to be at Martinsville for the big Kyle Busch Cup announcement that's coming up on Tuesday.
Well, I think the fans.
Well, let's not do this. Come on, man. It's called a tease. You'll be in Martinsville. Yours truly, the few of my compadres from the Freak Nation will be. What's it called? What's the racetrack called? Arizona. What is it? Central Arizona Raceway for high limit racing.
Oh, you guys are. That's right.
We'll be there for that coming up on Friday. More freaks and Kyle Larson coming up. Kyle Larson said something about winning. He just said something that would blow your freaking mind. Again, that's next. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios. Hit it.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks. BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, go to lucasoil.com to find a line of products to keep all of your rides out in your garage fat and happy. 2-wheel, 4-wheel, your speedboat. Go to lucasoil.com. Inside your engine, outside your engine, inside your car, outside your car. They got it, man. Go to lucasoil.com. Matt Weaver at Matt Weaver RA on X. We were sent a text from the ailing Cole Cusimano, who still has enough strength to text us from his sick bed. He's forwarded us this Matt Weaver post saying, I think if we would still have the 2021 car, I would have about 50 Cup wins right now. I think switching to this car has limited us from winning. Kyle Larson. I'm not quite sure if that's tongue-in-cheek, but it's still a ballsy comeback from Kyle Larson. I don't know. I think it's a little far-fetched. Maybe.
Well, how many wins that season?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
10 wins in his championship season.
So fast forward just a few more years.
What was that,
10
Cody?
Season?
11.
11?
Oh, 11? Shit, sorry, Kyle. I just know for a fact it wasn't at Super Speedway.
Yeah. Richie's laugh. Gotta have Richie's laugh up with Joey Logano's laugh, up with, I don't know who else.
No,
Somebody
come on, nobody beats
Who's laughing now?
I'm on the wrong, yeah. Can't play it. It's okay, Richie. It's okay. It's okay. I don't want to dig into the rabbit hole right here. And I know we get caught up in the moment. And I know we're talking about Kyle Larson got this close to sweeping the weekend. And he goes out and wins the Cup race, wins the truck race, didn't win the Xfinity Series race, but he was going to be the first one to do it other than Kyle Busch, who did it twice, where he swept. But with Kyle Larson and his dominance this weekend, is it Jimmy Johnson-esque? I know it, man. I know what you're going to think. Is it Jimmy Johnson-esque that we're witnessing this greatness of Kyle Larson limited with this Gen 7 car?
Are you saying we're being robbed?
I could be saying that. But everybody else is in the same damn car. If you're such a great driver, Kyle, make the damn adjustments and go out and win those 50 freaking races in the last 4 years.
Well, hold on a second. I hope you guys can help me out with this. And I think we will get into some discussions about this car and its mannerisms, so to speak, somewhere down the road. We've been on spring break for a while, so we have not had a chance to listen to the Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch interview that began pre-race last weekend, and then it was put out publicly this week. But in there, I've been told Kyle really breaks down this car and just how it really does take away just some basic things that drivers of the past used to be able to use to their advantage. And just the whole setup, the mechanics of the car are so different that it does bring about more parity, which we saw the opening year of this car coming out. So, yeah, there is something to that, Kenny. Is it robbing us of some Larson wins, some Busch wins, some whatever, potentially, but it's given us some Bell wins, it's given us some Bowman wins, so 6-1, half a dozen another. There's no true legitimate argument on either side.
Richard?
Yeah.
She might be onto something. And given the fact that we've been successful for 25 years of doing Speed Freaks and the Freak Radio Network and every other freaking video processor here on the planet, you might be onto something, Crasher.
You're being facetious.
No, I'm not. It has brought parity. And no, where's my Bowman?
No, it's
Byron.
To your right,
He's right
on
over
top
there.
of Bluey. Yeah, there's William Boring right there. There you go.
All right, first of all, William Boring is a hell of a driver. I'm not denying that. But with the parity of this car and the development of this car to get here, limiting those that are, limited those that are true freaking drivers that can drive anything, Kyle Larson and others, Christopher Bell, has brought in cats like this who got their rides from watching a freaking television set. Man, I sounded old there, didn't I?
Yes.
Right? From online.
But you build a skill set that way. It's just a different skill set, and clearly it is a successful skill set.
But do we... I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. All I'm saying is if we're playing off of what Kyle Busch is saying and Kyle Larson is saying and bringing in the parity that some dude can sit in his freaking basement with 3 screens in front of him, come in here and compete with world-class freaking drivers.
All right. So you have the drivers that feel it in the seat of their pants, kind of like Kyle Larson with the dirt background. You feel the nuances in your butt for 500 laps wherever you are. You can communicate to your crew chief specifically what is wrong with the car. That's been taken away. So that advantage by those guys that truly drive by the seat of their pants, that's gone. And now it just provides a blanket advantage to very different skill sets, allowing different drivers, hence the parity, to move up to the front.
Richard?
You were talking about Kevin Harvick crash, and there was something, and we didn't get a chance to get to this back on. We're going to talk about it on Horsepower Hump Day back on Wednesday, but we didn't get a chance to do it. Kevin Harvick brought up how at these 1.5-mile racetracks now, these guys are running completely wide open for the entire lap, right?
Yep.
And so what's happening is that's easy. Anybody in the Freak Nation could do that. Can go hammer to the floor and run around in a circle for 400 laps and be okay. And so Kevin was explaining, like, listen, you put more horsepower in these cars. Denny Hamlin talked about this on his podcast last year too. Put more horsepower in these cars, make them go faster. That's where you're going to really find the difference in making drivers drive the race car instead of the race car dictating everything, I guess. If I'm trying to explain that, right? Where like you go to 1.5 miles and you're going to have to use the throttle a lot differently than they are now in this Gen 7 car where you're flat out for the entire lap around the track. And
that is a nuance that separates the men from the boys.
Exactly.
Specifically.
And again, a lot of the drivers have been, I think even Dale Earnhardt Jr. was asking for this too recently on his show last year when horsepower became a topic. But like, that's an easy fix, man. They did it. They did it many years ago. And it was seemingly more of a success in terms of there being more of a discrepancy, and the best drivers were the ones that were coming out on top every week. And that's not the case anymore. I actually prefer it the way it is now. I like the parity. We talked about this seemingly all year.
Yep. Yeah.
I like the way it is now because I cannot tell a difference because in the way this car drives. When we watch it on TV, it looks the same. So I'd rather be able to tune into a race every week and go, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know if a plus 10,000 Josh Berry is going to win this week. Rather than 10 years ago, I was like, well, I'm going to tune in and watch Jimmy Johnson win again. That's not fun.
And when you hear the drivers chime in and talk about what a fantastic drivers race it was, it's like, okay, great. There were 37 drivers that enjoyed running on this racetrack in this car, but there were 3 million people that just watched a D-bag type race. It just looked like piss. Whether I'm not saying it's Homestead.
Nah, you did.
But we've seen and heard that all the time when the drivers talk about, that was a great race. You're going, what the hell were you driving? That was a piece of garbage. Well, this car, I'm not in the car. Like you said, I'm not in the car feeling this by the seat of my pants. I'm in my freaking Sparko love seat driving a freaking... Sorry. I don't know what the hell my point I was getting at, but when Matt Weaver posted that on X, and our good friend Cole Cusimano, who is alive enough to text us from his freaking deathbed, as he's probably still throwing up, that Kyle Larson said, "Look, dude, I could have won 50 races since 2021 if we had the same car back in the day. Back in the day, 4 years ago. Back in the freaking day."
And he's not wrong.
I like the parody to a degree. It just hasn't created that the hate that how soon we forget the hate that Jimmy Johnson got. It had nothing to do with his personality. Jimmy Johnson could look you in the eye and insult your mother, your child, and it still wouldn't be insulting. He's such a nice guy. I'm not saying he's William Boring by any stretch, but
he likes to party.
We don't have that driver that we really hate anymore.
Because there's no domination.
Yeah. But there's still boos. The boos for Joey Logano are still pretty legit. Kyle Busch, they've gotten softer for Kyle Busch, surprisingly enough. You can't hate William Boring. You can't hate Christopher. Do people hate the fact that we talked about Kyle Larson for the first 40 minutes of this show? Right? Let's get used to it, I guess. That's where we are with this frickin'...
There's a tiny bit of hatred going for Kyle Larson because as he lost that Xfinity race Saturday, some people were chiming into comments around social media of, that's the greatest. There goes your greatest of all time, fans. And so there's some people that don't like the Kyle Larson mentions.
Settle down.
That's not a bad thing.
The second hour coming up, Freak Nation, we're going to talk NHRA with Alexis Dejoria, a freaking badass in a funny car. Ran this weekend in Phoenix. Also, John Hunter Nemechek. His old man was so good to the Freak Nation 20 years ago when he would show up at these parties. We're talking about Front Row Joe Nemechek. We talked to his son, John Hunter Nemechek, and more coming up. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line Gold Unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Brexton and Kyle this year will be racing with each other in the micros, and Brexton's going to smoke him.
We're not out here because we're making millions of dollars, and I'm not out here for notoriety. I'm here because I love what I do.
Yeah, let's just say you say hello in Australia, though.
G'day.
G'day. G'day.
Please hang up and try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios, driven by General Tire.
Rock on, baby!
It's Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, is your bracket busted? Moving into the Sweet 16, baby. Coming up this hour, Alexis Dejoria, NHRA Funny Car Badass. She will be here in the Freak Nation, the only female running in the funny car class in the NHRA. We'll also hear from John Hunter Nemechek, the baby boy of Joe, Front Row Joe Nemechek. Joe Nemechek was so good to us early on to Speed Freaks. We would have these parties prior to California Speedway Crasher.
Yep.
And we would have truck drivers show up, Xfinity Series driver, and lo and behold, bam, it would walk Joe Nemechek, be a part of the Freak Nation pre-race parties and sign autographs for freaking days. So it's good to get his son, John Hunter Nemechek, the first time in the Freak Nation. He'll be joining us here within the hour, Freak Nation. Did you miss Kyle Larson last hour? Kyle Larson spent a good 10, 15 minutes with us here in the Freak Nation. We'll have that up on our YouTube page at Official Speed Freaks and at speedfreaks.tv. We didn't touch on it at all the first hour. IndyCar was at Thermal, a gentleman's club.
There we go. There we go. I'm not a huge fan of Thermal either, but just go. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine, because I just want to see you dig the hole deeper for why you think this was a great place to put in. Oh, okay.
I never said I thought it was a great place, because any place that only allows 5,000 people is not a track that I feel necessarily that comfortable at as a fan. It is a billionaires club, and you're basically having IndyCar drivers, professional drivers, racing on this play track for billionaires. Granted, they did soup it up enough to make it not necessarily, I don't know what specs they had to use to make this the exhibition event that they had last year in 2024, but they did make some changes. Now there's talk of making changes again if, and yes, the word if was used, Thermal is to come back in 2026. The executives with IndyCar met with the owners and the group at Thermal, and it was an if this racetrack comes back next year, changes need to be made. Number one, you need to make room for more than 5,000 people. So that would mean taking away some of the parts of the opening part of the track that don't allow for seats. You need just take that out and use a different part of the track that's not being used right now. Will allow for more fan engagement, and it will allow for, oh, dare I say, higher speeds, faster corners. Let's get to 180, please. That's what IndyCar is all about. Again, it's an if.
Wow. I can go so many different directions with that comment there, Crasher. But this, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of, I think they're just called the Athletics now. They're no longer Oakland, or they're not Vegas yet. They're just the Athletics, right? They're playing in Sacramento. Is that
Yes.
where they're okay?
Correct.
And it's going to be where the Rays are going for next season. We'll be playing at freaking George Steinbrenner Stadium.
Correct.
Where you have 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 seats at these freaking AAA ballparks. It's like, why do you do this to fans? Why do you limit? You're trying to build a fan base, but we're sticking a big billionaire middle finger to our fan base saying we only want 5,000 people to come here and watch this freaking race. And what were the tickets?
$495 a piece.
This just screams elitism. And in a time when IndyCar needs all the help that they can get, it's still beyond me that they're even discussing something. There's something going on. There's got to be several of these billionaire owners that have freaking Penske stock. There's something going on. Don't laugh, right?
No, you might be onto something.
There's something going on here for them to have a race in front of a limited crowd. Granted, it's not necessarily about the crowd unless it's the 500. It's about the ratings. It's about the race. But, okay, let's look at the race. It was a follow the leader until Alex Palou benefited from their tire strategy, right, Crash?
Yep, saved their sticker reds, their sticker alternates for the end, and boom, literally drove away with it with better grip on the last 15, 20 laps.
I mean, the worst thing that could happen for IndyCar, Freak Nation, is for their broadcast that's on Big Boy Fox to go awry and for Fox to put a NASCAR race in the slot of the IndyCar race, right? That'd be the worst thing that could happen.
That's what happened.
And that would never happen, right?
That's what happened Sunday.
What happened?
Yes.
What happened now?
Allegedly, a circuit breaker was tripped. Yeah, breaker was tripped. Was it the heat? Some people claim it was the heat. Others are saying not so fast. These are two brand spanking new production trucks that IMS Productions, yes, that's the IndyCar Productions, not Fox, IMS Productions bought in the off-season. Some people in IndyCar, maybe it's the teams, at least kind of what I'm hearing, it's teams, because their sponsors are on their backs going, we're not getting what we paid for. Come on. First race, you cover up our sponsors on the aero screen. Second race, you go to a blackout because a circuit is tripped, and then you put on NASCAR instead of what we're paying for, which is IndyCar. What's going on here? These brand new trucks had an electrical issue? Really? In 90-degree heat at Thermal. You didn't know
Your
that
name
Palm
is
Springs...
Thermal. Your name is freaking Thermal.
Yeah. You didn't know that Palm Springs was going to be 90 degrees at the end of March? No, you knew. You knew. You just, either your new trucks, you claim these are brand new trucks, either those trucks really had an issue or you didn't plan appropriately. Nathan Brown was reporting today Nathan Brown with the Indianapolis Star, that we all know that the booth was only put together 9 months ago. This Fox IndyCar announcement was made 9 months ago. 2 months ago is when the booth was confirmed. And then the week of St. Pete was when the pit reporters were confirmed, which, by the way, only a couple of weeks prior to that was when all the technical guys that were going to work with IMS Productions and Fox were officially put together. So there are some people in the paddock now that are saying, guys, why, when you made your announcement 9 months ago, why has all this last-minute effort been coming together and given us glitches at both St. Pete and Thermal? Why? Questions need to be answered.
That's so bad that for a sport we were all excited for this brand new TV deal going to Fox, the viewership hopefully increasing because of all the broadcast races.
Yep.
We're not talking about the racing. We're not.
Right.
We are not talking about the racing. We are not talking about the drivers. We are not talking about how great Alex Palou is.
Right.
He's won 2 consecutive races. I posited this now that he's proving himself to be one of the best drivers in the entire world at this point. And we're not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
No. Instead, we're talking about Fox constantly screwing up. Whether that is actually Fox Sports or whether that is, like you said, IndyCar Productions crash, I'm not really 100% sure. But I go back to qualifying. I was watching qualifying, and a lot of other people brought this up too. Bro, how hard is it to include sector times sector times, how far above or below the cut line are these guys on their flying laps? We got none of that.
But that's part of a broadcast, right?
Yes.
You got zero?
It should. It's easy to do. NBC did it, and NBC did a great job with it. Formula One does it. They're great with it. NASCAR does it all the time, too. But nope, not IndyCar on Fox. Got none of that.
We did it over the weekend with a freaking 10, 11-year-old freaking soccer tournament. We could see where they were moving with the goals that were scored. Yet we can't get that with IndyCar? The hell is that about? Sorry, Richie.
No. That's my thing. It's like, that's what we're talking about right now instead of actually talking about the product. And that is not good. And it's really unfortunate because you guys know this. I love IndyCar. I love the product. It's better than Formula One. And you know how much I love Formula One now. not anymore. It breaks my heart now. But anyway, yeah, like that. We're talking about all this technical crap and BS instead of actually talking about the product on the racetrack. And that is not good for the sport whatsoever.
And it also, I mean, the fan base is kind of, they don't know the inside baseball parts of what's going on at IndyCar, IMS Productions, and Fox.
Right.
So the fan base is like, is this Fox's fault? Is this IndyCar's fault? So yeah, there's a lot of egg that is on actually both their faces right now, but it really should only be on one or the other. And I don't know if we're ever going to get down to the true story of what is going on, who's making what decisions. We loved Fox's promotion preseason. But anything else, yeah, even our cat is upset right now. I'm sure you heard that as well. But anything else that's going on, who's making the decisions? Where are the decisions where are they coming from?
Man, we've only got about a minute and a half here. We got a break. We got Alexis Dejoria coming up in about 6 minutes. But Crasher, you go back to the split, the kart, and IndyCar, and they opened up that gap, and freaking NASCAR pulled through, and
1996.
Haven't looked back since. And for freaking IndyCar to have this failure, I just see somebody going to the side of the wall, looking at the camera and unplugging, going, "Unplugging the crew. I'm a NASCAR fan."
Stop
I
it.
do. I just see it. But for them to air NASCAR in their spot, it's just like, die, out of here again.
It was a dagger to the throat.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Damn it. We're such fans of open wheel.
But the issues just keep coming.
Boy. Freak Nation, she is a freaking badass, and she's becoming in the Freak Nation for the last 15 years. In fact, she got her first NHRA funny car win here in Phoenix after our lovely 11-year-old daughter pooped on Crasher's shirt because the funny car scared her so much. She was 2 months old.
The warm-up of the funny car.
Alexis Dejoria joins us next. Poop and all. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's BetterHelp.com/SpeedFreaks. BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
So Alexis Dejoria joining us here in the Freak Nation. We don't need to go in the whole litany of times you've been in here and why you've been in here with the Freak Nation, but Phoenix holds a very special place for you. Your first win, but you were a benefactor early on with the Speed Freaks Mojo when our daughter, who's holding the camera right now, was 2 months old. She crapped on her mom, Crasher, but you went on to win that race. That was in 2014. The lifetime of a driver, a funny car driver, if I would have said, dude, we're going to be doing this in 2025, what would Alexis Dejoria said to me?
Oh, most definitely. 100%. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got unfinished business. You know that. I didn't come here I'm not a flash in the pan. No, this was my decision from day one. I want to be a funny car champion, period.
When you say a funny car champion, I get that. You could say, okay, it could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. And I'm not saying, when are you going to say enough's enough when you win a championship? I'm not going to ask that. But the wear and tear of the road can beat a driver down if he or she is not winning championships.
Oh, most definitely. But look at Ron Capps. Look at how long it took him to win championships. He'd won tons of races. He had never won the U.S. Nationals. We won the U.S. Nationals 2014, so I got that one out of the way early on. But, you just never know. John Force, it took him a long time to just win a race, period. And then he went on to be the most winningest, championship driver in the world. So it's a matter of time, and you've got to take the good with the bad. And I'm a fighter. I don't give up, almost to a fault. I'm very loyal to a fault. And, I believe in my team. I'll bleed for my team. I love these guys. They're my family. And I've got a great opportunity to work with a new team. No hard feelings with Dell. Him and I have been through so much. He has been my day one and my mentor and my friend. And it was just time to do something different. And, I wish him the best. And, we're doing good. And I've got his complete, support. So, yeah, things are good.
Del Worsham, the Worsham last name is synonymous with drag racing. And when you teamed up with Del, we all knew that it was going to be what we thought was going to be a lifetime membership. But talking to you earlier, speaking of road weary, a little wear tear on that, this is your first season without Del to where you're going to turn around and go, where's Del?
Right.
Has that been strange? Granted, it's only the second race of the season, right. But turning around, seeing him every time.
Yeah, he's still there. I saw him in Gainesville in the staging lanes. We crossed paths, and it was like, oh man, it's great to see you, and man, great job, and hey, the track's tricky out there, but you know what to do, and you're a good peddler, and you got this, and it was just cool. I love the guy, and it's different. Zippy's pretty mellow. They're very different in their personalities and their swagger, very different. But I like working with him. Neff's, I'd say, one of the top 5 like crew chiefs out here. And he's got a hell of a tune-up, and we're just running with one car right now. So we're just being very cautious about how much we're throwing out there. We want to protect what we have. We want to keep our stuff for the race tomorrow. So we did sit out this last round of qualifying, but the track's 130 degrees. We're not going to progress. We're not going to do better than what we did yesterday. So we're sitting 6th right now. We're in the top half of the field. It's a good day, and we're back out here in Arizona where I have a lot of firsts. We won the inaugural Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge here too, so that was good. Yeah.
You touched on it, but getting back to again, top alcohol, funny car, running funny cars, and now we're here at 2025. The things you've learned have got to be bananas, and I'm not going to bring up I'm going to bring up the female. I'm bringing up the female because it is National Women's History Month.
Oh, month. Okay, the whole month.
It's a whole goddamn year as far as I'm concerned, all right? I've got a freaking broad behind the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get no days off.
Do you still feel like you said this to us, you felt like you had to work harder to get that ride 11 years ago? Do you still feel like you have to work harder, or are we past that?
There's days where I feel like I do. There's days where I feel like I'll still have that on me, where like I am the only female in the class. I wouldn't want to lose to the only female in the class, or like if the shoe was on the other foot. But I mean, I've been out here for long enough. I don't think they really look at me that way. But you get those old timers that are like still like, oh, she got out of the groove, or she isn't out. These people don't know anything. You know what I mean? Those are people that sit on their couch and, Monday morning crew chiefs, they try to, talk about what they think they know, and they really don't. But I've definitely pulled my weight out here. I've proved myself, and I earned this spot, and I did it the right way.
Okay, so explain this off season. You just talked about, or you guys had just wrapped up with, it's not easy to gel when you have to do something so fast, but you're proving that you are. Explain how this offseason came about exactly, and then when you knew, okay, this is going to be a good fit.
Well, talking to Joe Maynard, talking to Mike Neff, had a long discussion with him, and, we were excited to work together. Phil Zwart from my last team came with me. Thank God. I love Phil. He's been with me since day one. Talk about loyalty. Yeah, he was on my very first Nitro Funny Car team. He was here when we won, obviously. And he just had his girl just had a baby, so it's like that was a big move for him. I give him major props. We gave him a raise right away. Yeah, thank you, Phil. And just to have that, that love, that support, and that familiar face coming over here means a lot to me too.
In Pomona, at the end of the season, you were kind of like, I don't know what's going on next.
Yeah, that was a hard pill to swallow for all of us. To end like that was really brutal, and that was the other reason why I was trying to talk Dell into just like finishing out one more year. Toyota has one more year. Let's just go out with a bang. Like, let's not end on this note. Like, we didn't qualify for we got bumped out again out of the top 10. It just was not how I wanted to finish it, or him. And so I was like trying to rally him up. Come on, Dale. And he's like, man, I've been racing since I was a kid. And he's like, I just can't do the full year thing, and it's hard to find people. I mean, we had a skeleton crew, and we were hiring part-time guys that really didn't know a lot and got overwhelmed fast. I mean,
what does that do to your psyche though too?
Well, I'm there checking their work, which takes me away from my focus, which is never good. But that's my ass in that car. That's my safety. So, if my parachutes aren't coming through the wheelie bar properly, and I hit my that's going to whip my back end around. And there was a couple times where I was like, hey, that's not right. Who's telling this guy? So, I mean, we were just down on guys so hard that things were getting missed. and the core guys were pulling double duty. I mean, Dell was pulling double, triple duty, and for a crew chief, like, he didn't have to do that. Thank God he was able to, because there were times where he had to drive the truck, he had to do this, and it's just like, man, like, we need to hire at least 2 more salary, like, solid people on this team, and it just wasn't happening. It was just really tough. So it wore on him, it wore on all of us, and he was just like, man, I just need to pump the brakes and run a couple races myself. Maybe I'll drive, and maybe I'll just license people. I don't know what I want to do. I was like, hey, you know what? I give you props for being true to yourself, and being honest, and I was like, there's nothing, you can't do anything about it, And he's like, but, I want to help you find another team, because obviously I'm not done. I think I'm just getting in my groove here. It takes a while. So he helped a lot, and he kind of gave me some names, and he's like, I'll talk to this person, that person, and you've got my full support, and I'll do whatever you need. So he was a huge help.
So what have you learned that helped this crazy situation come through to where you are now? I sense the relaxation. Where did this all come from your past?
I just think, you got to go through it to get to it. You got to eat dirt, I'll say. You got to eat dirt. At least I feel like I am who I am today because of all the stuff that I went through. The fires, the crashes, the ups and downs of drag racing. I mean, it's the most humbling sport, as we all know. We're not out here because we're making millions of dollars, and I'm not out here for notoriety. I'm here because I love what I do, and I love the sport, and I'm passionate about it, and I love the people. And when you win, when you do good, oh my God, it just washes all the bullshit away.
NHRA funny car driver Alexis Dejoria qualified 6th for the NHRA Nationals here in Phoenix over the weekend. Went out first round, dang it. Didn't benefit from that Speed Freaks mojo. But she'll be a contender this year. Coming up next, John Hunter Nemechek. Yep, the baby boy of Front Row Joe. He's next. Speed Freaks Pits down the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and port in on $60 plan. First service charge and tax due with sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks. BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds. 3 years of edge of your seat action. 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR. And now, NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
There's a couple of reasons why I wanted to get John Hunter Nemechek in here. One is, of course, your dad was so good to us throughout the 25 years. But more importantly to you, screw Dad, you got 2 top 10 finishes for 2025. And I told your PR person, I just feel like, dude, you've got a win coming, right?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I feel like the start to the year for us at Legacy Motor Club has definitely been solid. Daytona 500 was really good for us. Atlanta was really good for us as well. I'm excited for Phoenix this weekend, see where we stack up. This is going to be kind of our true test to all of the personnel changes, to all of the changes that were made process, procedure, rule-wise over the off-season. Are we bringing better cars to the racetrack than last year? Has the speed increased? So there's a lot that's on the line this weekend here in Phoenix, but the start to our season has definitely been solid, and hopefully we can keep that up. We're in a really good spot.
Last season certainly wasn't memorable for you. How quick do you put it behind you to focus on, okay, it's a new year, we've got a better car, we've got a better organization, a more established organization?
Yeah, it was definitely a year not to remember, for sure. There were a lot of moments that I would say that I learned in difficult situations and a lot of overcoming last year. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy coming into last year. We didn't know how we were going to run. We didn't know the speed that we were going to have as Legacy Motor Club. But all in all, we were focused on trying to continue to kind of build this organization from the ground up. Last year we started as pretty much day one team. The manufacturer swap from Chevrolet to Toyota, all the personnel changes, and even going into this year, there's a lot of new for me as well. So it's almost like a second rebirth year, I guess you could say. But looking forward to this year and not making the same mistakes that were made last year and really putting down some solid runs and finishing where we should finish. If we have a 20th place car, we should go finish 20th with it, not try and excel and get a couple more spots and end up busting your tail in these new next-gen cars.
John Hunter Nemechek, you referenced that Phoenix is the first true test of the NASCAR schedule, but you can't just throw away super speedways or road courses. There's plenty more in the season. I've heard a lot of that from drivers, though. So if you're acing that part of the puzzle, shall we say, of all the tracks on the schedule, just kind of put that in your pocket and be like, okay, we're cool. Now let's nail short tracks, right? Yeah. Or is that easier said than done?
It's way easier said than done. So the way that you look at the first 3 races, you have 2 super speedway races and 1 road course. It's kind of anyone's ball game, I would say. At the super speedway races, you can put yourself in position to win the race and end up getting wrecked or caught up in the big one. And there's a lot of luck that's involved. There's definitely some skill that's involved within those. But it's hard to kind of get a gauge on where you stack up speed-wise for the year based off those 2 races. The road courses are super important to the Cup Series now. I think we have 6 or 7 of them through the schedule this year. So it's a lot of time and effort put into that. We still have quite a bit of ways to go on our road course program. But as far as coming into the 4th race of the year here at Phoenix, it's our first short track test, right? And then next week at Las Vegas, it's our first intermediate test for the year, and kind of see where you stack up and where you need to build and see what improvements were made over the offseason, not only for us as Legacy Motor Club, but pretty much every team in the garage, every driver. So there's a lot there that you can kind of take away from these couple races. Like, we don't know how we're going to run this weekend. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get on track later today and where we stack up. But we're hopeful that we made some major gains over the offseason and that we're going to have some grip in these Toyota Camry XSEs and go fast.
But the one thing you can take away, or many things you can take away from the beginning of the season, is your chemistry. Your team chemistry has changed. And is there momentum there that can help you through the season?
Yeah, for sure. There's only one person on my 42 team that is technically the same from last year. So everyone that I have is new. Some were at Legacy Motor Club internally in different roles. A lot of outside hires that came in. So it's a new group for me. So the off season was really big for us to get our communication kicked off on the right foot. And even coming into Daytona, Atlanta, and then COTA last week, like trying to get those reps underneath of our belt, trying to get our communication up to speed where we feel like we need it, being able to discuss post-race on where we feel like we needed to improve and how we can better our communication skills and what I'm saying and different things, and kind of get on the same page as adjustments and whatnot. So the first 3 races, it's hard to say that they're wild cards because they can make your season. I wouldn't say that they can break your season, but they can put you in a major hole. So coming out of the gate, swinging in a really good points place and having solid runs is definitely a huge benefit going through the year.
Obviously, in the developmental ranks, you've had a lot of success early in the season. How do you translate what you learned from those series into the Cup now?
That's tough. I feel like in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, the last 4 or 5 years of my career, we've definitely come out of the gate swinging. We've had really good runs. We've finished up front. We've won races right off the bat, and it kind of sets up your year, right? With where we're at in the Cup Series, I don't feel like I've necessarily been in a spot to be able to come out of the gate swinging and winning races right away. But that's the ultimate goal. So I think for us, as we kind of fine-tune Legacy Motor Club and continue on to push, and with more new hires and getting reputation better in the garage, and trying to attract, I guess, some better and I don't want to use the word better, but more experienced people in the garage that have a lot of knowledge that can help grow our program, as well as getting our cars and the product that we're bringing to the racetrack to where we can contend for wins on a weekly basis. So for me, it's about being solid, right? Like, no mistakes. Take what the car is giving me, being able to go out there, adjust on it, make our cars better through the weekend, and figure out how we can get better as a team and how we can bring better product to the racetrack.
Awesome. I like what you were telling Crash earlier about this being a new team, essentially, except for one guy on the crew. How do you build that chemistry throughout this season early on? Is it all on-track stuff? Are you guys going out for dinner, having lunch? Like, what do you guys do to build that chemistry and that rapport?
A little bit of everything. We have a huge group text thread that we all kind of jump on, and we're picking at each other and kind of just getting the vibe right. But overall, just being able to spend time with each other at the shop, away from the shop. Like this morning, I had breakfast with Jimmy and my crew chief, Travis Mack, and just being able to talk through things and get Jimmy's vantage point on some things, and him bringing up some points that we may not have thought of, and kind of just going through it all.
So at the top of the interview, I was talking about your old man and how good he's been to us. When we'd have charity auctions back in the day, he would just donate all kinds of crazy shit, man, and including this. One of the crew's Kleenex. That's not. When would a crew wear that damn thing? Did they actually wear that over the wall at one time?
Those were his, like, their race day outfits. Now they're all supplemented, right? But back in the day, they didn't have that.
And that's a medium. That's a medium back in the day. Look at that. I mean, your old man, like yourself, had forearms for freaking days.
Yeah. This thing's heavy. All that embroidery, it's heavy.
Let's hand him that suit. Yeah. Feel this. This is not how heavy your suits are now, right?
No, definitely not. That's wild. You know what's crazy is like this thing is super heavy, but it's thinner than what our suits are now. Yeah. It's pretty interesting, huh? Yeah, this is like a 1-layer fire suit. Now I think they're like 3-layer fire suits, and yeah, I think it's heavy.
Give me some fond memories of Front Row Joe.
I would say the one that I have that stands out the most was when he actually won in the Cellular One car and then the Army car, back-to-back days, swept the weekend in Kansas in 2004. I was just a kid. I was playing on the playground there. I remember our bus driver running out to grab me and taking us to victory lane. And then, I don't know, like I didn't know any better, right? I knew what winning was, being able to go to victory lane. But sweeping the weekend and getting to go twice in one weekend was pretty good. I think he won both poles that weekend too. So we got to take home 2 pedal cars. And I was trying to figure out how I could drive both of them at the same time. Yeah, fun times.
I think about that as my 11-year-old daughter is over here. There are times if she just doesn't give a shit, you know, there's so-and-so in here. I don't care. Or at that age, it's like, I don't give a shit. I just want to be on the swings.
Yeah, I think for us, like for myself at least, growing up in the sport, right? Like I've never really been starstruck by other drivers just because I've grown up around them. Like I was in the driver owner lot riding my scooter around or playing on the playground with other drivers' kids, right? As like second generation, you kind of form those relationships. Like I remember Jimmy winning a bunch of races and being able to say, hey, what's up to him as I pass by on my scooter in the DO lot. And now I'm driving for him. Like it's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's super neat to grow up in the sport like that and grow up and have these amazing opportunities and experiences and things that a lot of people don't get to experience, right? But being able to stay humble through that and understand who people are and chat with them and kind of get to know them is one of the best things about our job.
Freak Nation, coming up next, one of the greatest tuners ever in drag racing did something this weekend on an anniversary. There was a very dark day in drag racing. Also coming up, imagine the credit card that you have in your wallet and losing a crap ton because of that credit card in Formula One. We'll explain. Coming up next, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, Don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, now through the end of April, you can get a whole lot of dough back when you buy a set of General Tires. Yeah, you get a Visa prepaid card back with a whole lot of cash back on that card. Bang! Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com to find out how you can get money back when you buy 4 qualifying General Tires for your hot rod. Go to GeneralTire.com. Coming up, we're going to find out what a credit card's thickness means to Formula One. We'll get to that. But first, Crasher, an emotional win, frankly, at Phoenix for the NHRA.
Yes, in Funny Car, it was Paul Lee up against Austin Prock. Austin Prock, last year's Funny Car champion, who won. He broke records, winning in Funny Car. So yes, Austin Prock, his first win in the Funny Car class was Phoenix NHRA Arizona Nationals 2024. So, of course, he's making it to the finals. Right. He's going to be a pretty tough guy to take down. But Paul Lee did it. Paul Lee did it with an amazing setup. Right. Paul Lee. But one of his crew chiefs is John Medlin. Hi. Know that last name. John Medlin just was amazing with the John Force Racing camps. And, of course, his son, Eric Medlin, won numerous races in one of the John Force Funny Cars until, unfortunately, he lost his life at a testing accident in Gainesville on this very day.
That's bananas.
On this very day. This is Sunday that we're recording this, Sunday, March 23rd. On March 23rd, 18 years ago. But 18 years later, his dad is in victory lane. He's at the winner's circle. So an emotional, fitting tribute. The Medlin family, just constant legacy throughout the NHRA. So congratulations to Paul Lee and John Medlin.
And I believe Paul Lee is now your points leader in the NHRA Funny Car class. He's never led in the points. Mm-hmm. He won, I think, last year in one of the call-outs. But Paul Lee, who had a share of wins in alcohol Funny Car, I believe. But, man, what a story.
Yep.
All right, Richie, you've been on at the bit to say your piece about Formula One and what did or didn't happen over the weekend. And I keep teasing it about how the width of a credit card,
the thickness,
was what failed your boy, your friend, everybody's favorite Ferrari driver, Lewis C. Hamilton.
The GOAT, the greatest of all time, Lewis Hamilton, in his second week in Ferrari.
Right.
Can I start with the good? He won the sprint race. He won the sprint race. That was awesome. That was so cool. So I know Cole was hoping for, and the Free Danger was hoping for another rant from myself, but I don't think we're going to get it quite tonight because I'm still happy that Lewis at least got the sprint win, and I wasn't like didn't have high expectations for the Chinese Grand Prix, but yeah. So my hopes were dashed. I went to bed at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning after the race was over. I was like, all right, cool. Ferrari got a 5th and 6th place finish. That's okay. That's where they started the race. That's about what I expected them. They were never going to beat McLaren. They were Max Verstappen. They were never going to beat him either. I was like, all right, cool. 5th and 6th. That's good. Coming off a really good sprint race. That's, the ball's moving forward down the field. We're matriculating the ball down the field, to use a football analogy, right? Mm-hmm. I woke up then this morning to a text message in the group chat. Mm-hmm. It was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning on Sunday morning that there were 3 disqualifications from the Chinese Grand Prix, one of which was Pierre Gasly. And then, I believe for the first time ever, both Ferrari drivers were disqualified, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. And to pay off your tease, Lewis Hamilton, I'm going to read directly from the Formula 1 article.
We go to 3 shots and get our reactions?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. All right, here we go. A document released following the hearing reads, the plank assembly of car 44 was measured and found to be 8.6 millimeters. 8.6 millimeters and 8.5 millimeters for each of the sides on the left, the center, and the right. This is below the minimum thickness of 9 millimeters specified under Article 3.5.9 of the technical regulations. So if my math is correct, that is 0.4 millimeters off and disqualified.
Credit card. Less than that credit card thickness. That's a DQ. And that's from wear and tear in the race. And that's a DQ. Okay.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we had this conversation, was it weekend before last or was it Horsepower Hump Day? We were talking about a disqualification that seemed... it was Michael McDowell. That's what it was. Yeah. Michael McDowell, where they were a pound underweight, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. It seems so minuscule, but as Cody alerted us to one of the disqualifications, how effective these issues can be on a Formula One car to increase your speed, your timing, so much so that it's not surprising that they're gauging them so tight.
Charles Leclerc's car came in 0.5 kilogram overweight. 0.5 kilogram.
But this is rabbit hole. If I say, okay, then what is it under? If you come under, what's the gauge? Do we know what that is?
You still get disqualified. It's hard. They hardline it. Happened with George Russell last year. Same exact penalty. And he got disqualified. He won that race, crossed the finish line first, and then got disqualified, giving Lewis his 105th career win.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, I think it took me a week to get used to the Ferraris completely blowing things up on every week. Like I know now that it's going to be a long season to be a Ferrari fan. So I might as well just return my hat. I bought my Lewis Hamilton hat. It hasn't shown up yet. I should just cancel my order at this point because it's just pain. Just pain. Just over and over again. It's a cycle. Happiness and then back to being pissed off again.
But you said it was history making because both Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton were DQ'd this weekend. First time ever both Ferraris were disqualified. It was also the first time ever in Formula One history, and since sprint races, that Lewis Hamilton won a race in the weekend. The same weekend he was also disqualified from a race.
Yes. Ferrari is now 5th in the constructors.
Oh my.
Williams Racing is now tied with them on points.
Richie, are you old enough to remember when Williams was
Williams was good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Back in the early 90s, Nigel Mansell. Yeah.
Oh, you go on and on with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kenny's favorite, Ralph Schumacher.
Yeah.
Juan Pablo Montoya.
I met him one time with Rick Hendrick at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, all in the same room. It was awesome.
Ooh.
I forgot why Rick Hendrick was there at the time. It was Rick Hendrick, It's Sir, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why they were together. But hold on, I digress. So what's the speculation of Lewis Hamilton's sprint win on him being a cheater?
No, there is none.
How do you know, Richie?
Get out of here. No, because no, get out of here.
How do you know? How do you know? It was so rad that he won anyway.
There is no conspiracy. Get out of here. I know you're trying to piss me off and it's not going to work. All right?
You're just telling me to get out of here.
Ferrari did that all by themselves on Sunday morning. So
he passed post-race tech on Saturday.
He did.
So? Right? Smokey Yunick lives in Formula One, man. He's finding areas inside that $500 million car.
You know what? Why don't you call out McLaren for being cheaters? They're the cheaters. Yeah, they're running an illegal wing, and they have been.
Who says?
The FIA. They put out new rules this weekend about their rear wing because they're cheat. They added an extra bit of space on their rear wing to give it less drag.
Right.
Yeah, and they're so much so that in a few weeks' time, through after race number 9, I believe, round 9, they're completely they're changing the regulations completely. So they know that McLaren's cheating, and they're letting them do it.
God, so much hate for the papaya, bro. You okay?
I can't stand them. I can't stand Zach Brown. I do not like Lando Norris. He's way in over his head. He annoys me. Get out of here. No, absolutely not.
Richie, do you realize?
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Pato O'Ward threw away, I'm saying that tongue in cheek, his win today. If Pato would have won today, if he would have gone on to the IndyCar win, 3 contracted McLaren drivers would have won on the same weekend for the first time ever in 3 different series. Because, yes, Kyle Larson is one of those. And then Oscar Piastri. And then it could have been Pato O'Ward. Pato. Wah, wah, wah.
All right, we got a break. We got to get the hell out of here.
All right.
Freak Nation, don't forget. There's the note.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to get the hell out of here. We'll do it again on Wednesday for Horsepower Hunt Day. And, of course, every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Later.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to WWTRaceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Speed Freaks.